need a thing over
Good, man. Who brought these in?
Billy Arcade.
I don't want that.
Bart, I just emailed you the 1-800 number to dial in and the access code. Sarah, if you have Bart Swift's cell phone number, we could just invite him manually.
Matt, do you have his cell phone number? Because I don't.
I do not. I just have his office number and nobody answered. I did see where he got off, then got back on. He's gonna have to just dial in with that 1-800 number that I emailed him. I'm gonna see if I can call Bob Nichols and get that number.
Wait a minute, he's on.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Hey, Bart, can you hear us?
He seems to be having technical difficulties on his end. I don't know if we can move to somebody else or if we need to dial somebody else in. It's up to you guys.
Okay, now,
Can we have him pipe in at 10:05?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Bart, if you can hear us, reach me on my cell phone. I believe you have that number. Okay, I just spoke with Bart and I'm about to conference him in. Okay, Bart, we got you on the line now.
Bart, this is Doug Stevenson, just checking in.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
How's that?
In a spaceship.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, Bart, I'm about to disconnect your other two connections. That way you're only over the phone.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Okay, Bart, here we are. We've got,
I'm so sorry. I was I thought I did everything in the world right and had my guy help me. But anyway, we'll go ahead, I guess.
we got your budget is $434,941. That's a decrease of 3.08%, which was excellent considering that's what we asked you to do. Now, let me ask you this. I'm just going to be blunt to the point here. We are struggling. We got situations that are, we've never been through before. Let me ask you this.
Right.
Something I want you to consider. if you had to cut your budget an additional 30% for this year based on, factors that we don't know, I want you to consider what you would do to cut an additional 30% from your budget. Would it be cut employees for furlough, or, I think you see what I'm saying. I mean, because we're in uncharted water.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously that's I mean, you know, it took a little time to figure out the proper way and try to not cut anybody to do 3%. When you're saying cut 10 times for that's just, that's going to take a little thought. I mean, a lot of thought, but,
That's what I'm.
you know, I don't know that would be, I just don't know if that's possible anything's possible, but I don't know that would be extremely difficult because we run it on the nub, and, you know, I mean, I'll try to do whatever, but that's something I'd have to work on, you know.
Have to furlough employees for a certain amount of time, or if you have to get them to work 3 days a week or 4 days a week or whatever. I mean, to me, that's the thing that you're going to have to look at to see.
Well, I came up with this overnight, and I'm just going to say this. I really did want to say it, and I mean to say this in a humble way. I got to thinking about my budget of, if you take, when I first started in 06, you know, the budget came forth without benefits. And when I took over in 06, the budget was without benefits was $309,000. Well, when I take the benefits out of the 300, my budget is $334,531. So about $25,000 higher. Actually, 2 years before I took over, his budget without benefits was $350,000. So it was more than what my budget is now. I mean, I've been running it tight the whole time. So for me to cut, and I'm not saying other people, it's going to be difficult for anybody, obviously, but
Hey, Bart,
I don't know that we could do the job that it takes for like that 30%.
Hey, Bart, this is Mike Taylor.
Hey, Mike.
Commend you. I think you're one of the, best run departments in the county, and have kept your budget in check every year and done everything possible to do that. But we're just letting people know up front that if this thing continues on, you need to be thinking about some of this stuff. There's gonna have to be.
Okay.
But we hope it don't come.
Well, I'm not butting up against you. I mean, I'll definitely think about it and take a look and just come up with something. But it's not going to be easy with, you know, I've got, like say when I took over, he had like 12 full-time people. I've got 5.
Yeah, 11.
And that was, as I say, I mean, you know, I pitch in once things are done and decided, but I pitch in like one of the employees all the time, just doing functions, whatever needs to be done. But, like I say, you know, I do understand, you know, I've said to friends or whatever that, you know, I feel almost so blessed to be almost, maybe nobody's 100% insulated, but Debbie and I both, our incomes are about as potentially, as far as I can see, as insulated as can be. But that doesn't mean nothing's 100%. I know that, and I know what's going on, obviously. But anyway, I'll just have to take a look and
That's all we're asking.
just look at, yeah.
on a
Yeah.
case scenario basis.
Yeah, Bart,
And I totally agree with what Mike has said. You have run a tremendous department, budget has been great. But we're in uncharted waters here, and it's one of these situations where we just don't know where we are. So that's what we're.
I know.
Yep. Bart, Jason Compton, I just we kind of want to just reiterate too. Thank you for cutting. We asked you to cut 3%. You cut 3%. Thank you for that. But we just want to make sure that everybody's continuing to think about things, because we don't want somebody a month and a half, 2 months from now to get completely caught off guard when we come back and ask for something else.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Once again, as I said, I feel like my job being elected and all that, at least until the next election, you always feel pretty secure. But, we are, I'm 68 years old. This is a first in my lifetime, of something like this. And obviously almost everybody's lifetime from 1917, the last time anything like this, which is totally a different time as far as communications and ability to do things, but still it is. So I understand. And I will, if I'm going to be hoping and praying that doesn't happen, but I will try to be prepared, I guess.
Okay. Commissioner Dayton would like to say something also.
Hey.
Hey, Bart.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
let me word it in a different way that Doug did. What he's asking you to do, I think, is not necessarily cut it 30%, but take 30% and see what it looked like if it came to that.
Right, correct.
Yeah. Just, yeah. Or as you're saying, if you told me that right now, just do it as a plan, I guess, what you're saying. And yeah. Okay.
Just do it as a plan to be prepared, just in case.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Bart.
All right.
Or has,
Yes,
One more thing, Bart, just tell Debbie I said hello.
I will do it. I appreciate it. She's just kind of hanging in there. So yeah, but I appreciate it. I will tell her. All right.
This is Warner.
That's, and I'm not cutting y'all off. that's, I don't have anything else, but
Bart,
yes.
I think Warner had something to ask you.
Okay.
Appreciate all he does for us.
Thank you, Warner.
Say it again, Warren. I'm sorry.
So we want to appreciate you for everything you do for us, especially holding.
I appreciate it. Hey, I love my job, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything extra. I'm thankful to have my job, and by that, I want to do a good job to keep my job. So anyway, that's I want to do a good job anyway, but that's certainly part of it. So anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate the nice comments. So
Thank you, Bart. Thank you. We'll get back.
all right, guys. All right, thank y'all.
My Bart Swift, I mean, I know Debbie real well.
Okay, Mark Adair. Let's see where we are here. And we'll go question from there. Okay. We've cut that down to you've actually increased 1.55%. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Mark?
We took the raises out.
Took the raises out. We reduced the salaries. Okay. You got an additional vehicle there or anything? Just anything you want to?
I cut the budget how much?
We didn't cut.
You increased it.
Looks like you
When I
increased
did
the
it on
budget.
the computer, it showed decrease 9% when I turned it in. Because we're not keeping running total over a machine when you're doing it.
What do you mean a running total?
Well, over here at the side, it tells you how much you're decreasing.
Yeah, and it's increasing. Did you have the benefits in it?
Oh.
That's
I don't
why.
see that one.
So
That's
the
what I got.
benefits are what's increased there.
So we-
Okay, I'm gonna ask you the same question that you heard I asked. I said, you got a plan. We had to cut 30% from your budget. I'm saying just a plan that you would, I want you to have that in mind, because if we come back and say, hey, we're gonna have to do this. That's- I want you to have in mind, can you furlough people or do whatever we're gonna have to do? I mean, I hate to do that, but I mean,
We hope it don't come to that, but we just don't know.
but we're gonna make you aware of that. That may be something you have to do. Give people work 3 days a week, 4 days a week, furlough someone, whatever. How many employees do you have currently?
Doug, excuse me, but I can hardly hear y'all. So can the microphone be a little closer to y'all?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I'm turning around. Mark, come on up here and see us. We don't have to turn around.
We need to, we're
Get
gonna
over here
have to
right by.
find,
What now?
we're gonna have to find 1.5% in that budget.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to find right now.
1.5%.
What's the other equipment?
And the truck.
Well, the truck was, that money was to buy another truck to replace one, but I can keep the one I got, just take it out.
I'd just take the 6,000 out.
For this year, as long as you can get by.
Of course, when I did that, turned it in, it wasn't the prices, I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't bad like it is now.
Heating and air conditioning, let's just talk about that. Is that for one?
You can drop that to 70.
70? Okay.
How much are we all?
Can we cut gasoline? Cause that's gone
No.
down.
No, the reason that's gone down is because my mother was in a nursing home for a year, and I was driving the Bells to see her, so I drive my truck those 3 days a week.
Okay.
Uh,
Maintenance, repair of vehicles.
that. Oh, I don't know. I can't think of it. Cut it to 8,000.
What about the maintenance, repair on the building?
Cut that, you cut that to 72.
Okay, we can't do anything on the, communication. What's going on there?
That's just our cell phones.
Okay.
And it was 2,000. And I bumped it to 25 because I had one phone on the CJC, but they billed me one bill for all of them. So I just
Can we
moved
drop that
money
down
over
to
to this one.
2250?
What now?
22,250, like 250 bucks. Can we drop that down a little bit?
I think, and I'm not sure, let's see, it's like 205 a month. Or 250, I can't remember.
12.5 times 12, that would be 2460.
Yeah, I'm pretty close on that.
What about contracted services? Can we go back and renegotiate some of these contracts?
I tell you what you can do. I'm thinking I'm gonna have some, drop that to 74. Instead of 77, and I'll see what I can do. I think I've got a little left over in there anyway.
Let's see where we are. Okay, we still got some.
Take out the
I got it.
2,500 on equipment.
Take it out.
Take it out.
Okay. Harold, can you hear us okay? Okay, let's go on back up, see if there's anything else.
I can when you speak up, but I got my hearing aids in too.
Okay, sounds good. We'll work on it.
I'll tell you what, on custodial, turn it down to 18.
Okay. Okay, now before we, even though you're at 3, let's see if there's anything else. Let's just go back through this thing real quick. Heating and air. Anything else that you can, because what I'm afraid of, here's where we are. Let's just say we come back and say, Mark, we're just down to it. You're gonna have to, we're looking at another 20%. I want you to really be, want you to be right. I want you to understand that's where we are.
See, here's what I would do if I was you. I would look over those contracts and see, you know, it's gonna be up to you. We hope this don't come, whether you want to furlough an employee or cancel a contract and let that employee try to pick up that work, you know? And I think that's where you could, if, you know, possibly save money.
I mean, I canceled all the mowing contracts, we do it now, save money, but there's one that I've been looking at, and it's.
Well, I tell you what we could-
They come spray the courthouse lawn. I don't know what it
Is there
does.
anything
What
else?
does it do?
Is there anything else? other-
Grass over there treatment. And it's not really good. I had to reseed everything.
See how we do.
I tell you, one
Well, we
thing that
don't know that-
don't forget about, whatever, when this budget's finalized, you gotta live with it. You can't come back to anything out of general fund.
Here's what we suggest. I mean, just a suggestion. I'm not, you know your business better than I do. But other contracted service, why don't you see if some of those are cancelable or you're able to cancel them? Then what we can do is we see where we are. Then you can come back and say, hey, I need to sign back up to do this. But if there's some that you could just,
I'm gonna say, because one is elevator service, it's a maintenance contract with elevator.
right,
The others are the cleaning for the jail, I mean, for all the buildings.
got that with.
That's,
Just take a look at it and see. We're not making any kind of big decisions today, but we want to make you aware of where we are.
Let's say like the cleaning, you know, the elevator service, ain't nothing, there's no way y'all can take over that, but like the cleaning, you know, before you sign up for a committed 12 months, ask them about maybe going month to month or something like that.
you know, we take that out.
Well, just ask Mr. Hayes what you can do.
How much work do you get out of inmates?
Well, we haven't been any lately, because, before that, we tried not to use them on the hand to.
How come you didn't want to use it?
Well, we were using them on the mow, that kind of
Yeah.
thing, but we don't just keep them anymore like we used to. One thing is, the jail down there gets scabies and staph infection all the time, and I'm telling you, I've brought them up to court for when it was dripping off their arms. And it's a lot of disease down there that you don't really want around you.
He has the next budget is his too. The next one is his also,
I'm
other
fine with
facilities.
that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go.
And
Let's
you
go
may or may
back.
not be able to do anything.
We might, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So let me ask you this over here. So capital, I don't have to worry about capital. We're not doing anything. I just want to make sure.
Things got muted on us.
There, you're muted. They know.
What that contact is.
Okay. Let's go.
Put another one in.
Yeah, Alan Powell.
Let's go down to that
Fire
other.
chamber one, one
Did
just
you
put
unmute him?
in.
We don't,
Yeah.
it's anything with the 40105.
Going down to, no,
You can't, it's anything with the 401.
I can't mess with the 401.
It's anything with the 40105.
I can't.
Yes.
I can
The
mess.
other ones are the sheriff's.
That's sure. Okay, 4105. Let's see sort of where we are.
There's not a bottom line.
There's not a bottom line. Okay, but 4105, you decrease that. 4105, you increase the maintenance repair on the building for, is that something that,
Well, it's kind of like we flattened the curve, we've done so much maintenance and redoing things
Right.
that it should level off. I can drop that.
What I'm suggesting is why don't you drop that and then we could, is that something we could come back in with a budget amendment later? Drop that whole
We had to
thing?
do the courthouse.
That's the whole difference.
Yeah, no, that's for the CJC.
You can cut it back to 35 where it was. But I mean, I had it set at 30 or 35 last year, and then I had to dash one because we spent it all.
That's the thing we need to ask ourselves. Do we want him to cut it to the bottom, to the bone, and then come back and ask for a budget amendment? You know, to do that later in case we, absolutely have to do stuff. I mean,
It
You don't-
really-
You'd be taking out of general fund then.
yeah, we would.
And it's in pretty good shape. We just had the computers reprogrammed where you can control the air again. It's been 10 years just running how it wanted to run, but it's in, we got all the VA boxes fixed. So, and it's not just the maintenance people before did a bad job, it's just.
Let's drop that down. Let's drop that down to 35. Okay, other contracted services down here, you got 42.
That's it.
What now?
That's heavy, it's VIP.
That's VIP, that's key.
And that was 42, they handed it 45, and I talked them down to 42 on each building. The closest bid to them was 100 and, right?
Did a pretty good job doing it.
What about utilities? I see you got an increase there of 4%. Is that something that you just,
I don't do utilities.
okay, that's sheriff. Never mind, sorry, I got it by me. Okay, building improvements, we drop that down to 14.2, right there.
That's zero this year.
Well,
I do drop it down to 12.
Mike, what I'm trying to do is not have people come back for budget amendments. I got thinking about that. That's gonna cost.
I can't hear a word they're saying. I can hear them talking, but I can't hear.
People need to understand that. So a lot of things are just gonna have to get put off until, like if you were gonna do the county courthouse, when would you do that?
The roof?
Yeah.
Well, probably next month or two would be good, when it's sunny and not raining so much.
See, there's just absolutely no way we commit
What?
to doing that roof.
Well, I mean, September, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't
I
know.
can work with it, I just need to get. the
How
roof.
bad is the roof? Just leaking?
It leaks in the mayor's office, it leaks in Tony's office, and it'll leak to the point where the old roof, the old ceiling will fall in and knock everything out. Like right
Yeah.
now, we got wires hanging out where it knocked it out last night.
Well, you repaired that roof there in the past, and
We patched it where it leaks.
when you patch it, what do you do? What kind of?
You rake the gravel back and find a soft spot, then you tar it and shove the gravel back over. It's the old gravel, tar, pea gravel roof, it's not the new kind.
See, here's what I'm gonna say, we're, like this summer, we ain't gonna know, 'cause we're just gonna be getting sales tax figures in for 3 months.
Well, if we,
It's fall, we might,
well,
next spring, we'll know a lot more, next summer, we probably be able to do it. That's the way I think about it.
I can keep patching it.
The only thing you got with a roof leaking, you can cause $125 worth of damage if you just ignore
Give the mayor a bucket.
What about heating and air conditioning, Mark? I see you got that's something.
That heating and air, there's 2, maybe 3 small units in that building. The rest, the other 2 are those 60 or 70 tons on the roof that run. They're 125,000 apiece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you wanna cut it?
Doug, is the formulas adjusting when you do these on the increase and decrease?
Is the what now, Harold? I'm sorry.
Is the formula adjusting when you do increase and decrease? You see that column, those figures are not right.
The increase decrease is not correct.
Yeah, when you see like like take the 14.2 versus the 12,000 on building improvements. and it's showing a $3,000 deficit. That's not 3,000. That's 2,200.
No, that's comparing it to the budget. You're not saying that column scroll over, Michelle? See, it's.
That's from the amended budget, Harold,
It's from the original.
from the original, excuse me, the original budget, 2019, 2020.
Therefore, I'm not seeing the whole thing here.
Right.
You can hide the column between budget and the.
Okay.
You can hide the estimate also.
Okay. Okay, that's what we need. So has it made any adjustments on that? That's still, he's still 4.1, but that includes the
That's
share.
the share, yeah.
That includes the share. Okay. That'll be fine. Okay. Okey dokey. Mark, I think you got in mind sort of see where we are. Where we are. So I didn't want you to be alarmed when you came back and go, well, but I want you to put your brain, your brain hat on there and go, if I had to do the worst case scenario of 25, 30%, what am I going to do? Am I going to lay this person off furlough? What am I going to do? Mike, you got anything else?
No, I mean, just that stuff like a big roof is.
It's just it leaked. There was a column that went from the fourth floor all in the basement where it leaked all those years that we got straightened out, and then I'm just trying to keep it from.
We need to somehow, Karen, we need to make a note and try to rank them in priorities of projects that we need to do, and that may be the first one when we see what kind of revenue we have.
That's really, I want to make sure we're real clear on that. That doesn't include just capital projects, Karen. That includes projects that we're actually paying out of general fund budget. In other words, that priority, that may come up first, but there'll be something else that would be, down the road. We need to prioritize those. And we're so glad to have you here. Thank you. Am I muted?
Morning,
Thank
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
I can't see you or anything, and I can barely hear you, but I guess that's the way this Zoom works. I don't know.
Well, I'll move it here a little bit closer so you can hear us.
Okay.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, and I can hold it up to my ear so I can hear you now.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay. Any more questions for Mark? Warner?
Go back towards the top one again, let me look at those.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah, the other one. Is that it?
That's where we're at right now, till we get you to come back for more fun. Okay, thank you, Mark.
Right.
Okay, man. We're gonna take a break here for about 5 minutes, okay? Break for about 5 minutes, and we're gonna come back and archive all that. We're gonna get you going. We'll let you sit right here. I promise I'll safe distance from you. We'll take a break for about 5 minutes. Okay. Are you on mute? Can I speak now?
You may speak.
We're back. Jason and Ann, we are back. Okay, we have
I
Paulette,
heard you.
we have Paulette from Archives here, and let's see where we are here. Let's see the bottom line here. Okay, we cut 7.89%. Cut 7.89%. Now, I'm just going to ask you. Well, just the same thing you may have heard me ask the other thing. If we get down there and have to cut, or we get in a situation where you had to cut 30% from your budget, I'm not asking you to do that, but I'm asking you to be in the look mode of like, how would you go about doing that? In other words, you may have to furlough someone, you may have to cut someone down. And I realize you don't have that many employees down there anyway, so just making you aware of that. That looks good, the 7.89, cut there. But that's sort of where we are. And I didn't want you to be surprised if we came back and said, oh, this situation is worse than, but I want you to be aware of, to have some kind of game plan of like doing that. Now, what we're looking at doing too is we're doing any type of hiring freeze and that kind of thing like that. So is there anything that you could look at that you see that maybe, now you got we got any kind of benefits in there? I'm sorry.
They only have Social Security.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So we really don't have anything, we really don't have anything because we're Mr. Auld is passed away, so we really don't have anything there. Is there anything else that's, Paulette, that looks?
Well, Mayor Harris had told us, he came to talk to us after Mr. Auld passed away. And he had told us to leave the money in there for the extra person to be hired. But since COVID-19 hit, we took that out. And we've picked up his hours and still can remain part-time. So, we won't have any benefits or anything like that. The operating leases, when Mr. Auld budgeted that, he budgeted it's just a minor amount that we're going to have to increase, but we do have to do that because it's like $52.50 for 1 month, and we need $4 or $5 extra in that. The maintenance and repair office equipment, that is for a Book-Eye scanner, and that is what they charge renting per year. We are looking at that because, with people wanting to use their cell phones to make copies and things like that, we're not using that as much, but you have to pay that much for the year.
What about $4.99, the other supplies and materials? Where are, I see you decrease that 400. Is that something that's another?
We hope to get a grant this year. We got 3,000 last year, so we can cut the supplies some.
Could you cut that down to like, let's say 5,000?
We can, and we can take, of course, we do our own cleaning on the $4.99 is our archival things that we buy. But we can cut that down, and we can cut the office supplies down. We do our own cleaning.
Okay, you can cut off supplies down to, let's say, $1,750. 2,000. I'm going to be nice.
We can go to 2,000.
Okay.
I mean, we can make do with whatever we get.
I got you.
We're going to get $3,000. We're going to ask for $3,000 for boxes, but they may not be giving grants this year with the nation in this situation.
Okay, let's see where we are. Is there anything else, Warner? Did you see anything else that?
But our office supplies, if we run out in 435, we get it out of 499.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
We usually do folders.
Okay.
And strictly office supplies like that.
Now, utilities seem pretty good at the 13,000. Is that? The utilities? I'd have to ask Karen. I don't know. Karen, do you know how that?
Yeah, it's prorated out.
It's prorated
to different,
out.
Maintenance,
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, we're gonna be right on the money for that. So I wouldn't say that it would be legislation.
If you change it, it's still like, it's somewhere else.
The total is the total, and JA expects the total.
Okay, Paulette, I think that's good, and but like I said, be prepared. Let's just say if y'all had to be open only 3 days a week or whatever. I mean, I'm just telling you where we are, so I'm not trying to frighten you or anything, but I didn't want to come back in 3 months and then go, oh, I'm gonna have to do this, and then you're gonna go, well, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, and I understand that, and that we are in a crisis, I understand that.
Right.
The people really appreciate the archives, and with Mr. Auld there, with 3 people there, you know, we could do a lot more processing.
Sure.
Just like last week, we went to Chancery Court, and they have so many records that they're in every place in the building. And I'm going up there and boxing them up, and I was bringing them back at Mr. Ald's van, but now maintenance is helping me out, bringing them back down.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Paulette. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. We got Lynn. Let's go here.
It's
Kane, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, give us a little brief on your funding. You get, tell me what percentage you get from the state and what you get from us.
So we get 52% from UT or TSU and 48% from the county. And
Okay.
it's been that way from.
Okay, now, let me ask you this. So the 52%, have you gotten assurances from the state
Yes,
that
sir.
you're going to be getting that this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, it is. They were doing raises and stuff, but as far as we know, the governor still has it in his budget to fund everything.
Now, on a raise, I mean, I just want to make understood, like if they give you a raise, Kane, so is that 52% coming from the state and that would be a 48%
Correct. Yes, sir.
from us?
Yes, sir.
You took the raises out,
Do we now? We took the raises out. That's what we did. Because there's just no way we're going to be able to do it. Now, how many raises does that affect? How many personnel do you have there?
It's 13 of us in the office, but you guys only fund 7.
7?
of us.
Okay.
Did you want me to kind of walk you through?
Well, let's go down to the bottom here
Okay.
and then let's sort of see where we are. But so you got to still have a 2.34% increase. I think, Kane, you just heard what I said. If we had to cut you 30%, I'm talking about not the state. If we had to do that, I want you in 3 months to be able to have a plan together of what you would need to do to cut that. I mean, is that something that you feel like that'd be difficult?
Well, a lot of the money that we get from the county goes into salaries and benefits.
Okay.
So that would mean we probably have to get 30%, we probably have to cut somebody.
Furlough or whatever. Okay. Talk to me about your in-service staff development. You got 12,000 in there. Is that something that's?
Yeah, we had three hired. Well, they were already hired, but UT moved them over to their system. I think it was last year before last. And so we have to provide professional development for them. And if they go out of state, they also have, when they first start, they also have to do new employee orientation, which is to Knoxville. So it pays for their hotel, their travel, and any food or anything that have to occur there. So we had to go up on it because the cost is greater. You know, they don't. If we go to a in-service or a staff development conference, if where we had it at now was $1,000 a piece. That doesn't even cover the hotel.
What if we said this from the, because I don't know how all that money is allocated. In other words, you got some that's coming from the state and some from us. What if I said from the county portion that we were only going to be able to provide 40% of your money this year?
That would go back to people.
We're gonna have to have a cut.
We're going to have to cut you. So what I'm saying is, can't.
I mean, we could, if we had to.
So we're going to have to look at cutting 8% out of our, I'm just saying, to get close right now.
Mm-hmm. If we had to, we would have to cut our in-service line, or the office supplies. It had to go up some because now we're paying for our internet, which we wasn't at the beginning of the year last year, and then also our phone system.
What could you cut in service staff development right there?
Do you have a reason you're at 4,000?
Sir?
You have a reason that you got a $4,000 increase over last year
For
in service?
Yeah, they got more people and then
5,000.
more people, and then they also have to have in-service hours and do agent orientation.
Is that something they're going to go this fall or this spring?
This fall.
Are you sure
Can
you're
it
not
not
have
be
it?
delayed
Yeah,
under current circumstances?
yeah, we haven't told any different. I mean, if we have to, we have to cut it, but
I think you're gonna have to go back to them and tell them under the current economic situation that our county and every other county's in, they're gonna have to reassess some of this stuff and, you know.
Let's do this. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to them and say, look, they're only going to be able to fund us at 35 to 40% this year. Go ask them about these in-service staff developments. That's something they're planning on having. We're only going to be, and we may even have to cut more depending on the circumstances. That's where we are. So you need to get a little guidance from the state. And now that may not be till June. Is that, or can you get guidance fairly soon on that? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I mean, they could tell me, but until the governor passes his budget, we don't know.
Okay. Well, I don't see travel as being something that's going to be needed to be increased, because I mean, we're not going to be traveling. Pull it up some more there, Michelle, please. Okay, communication. I understand that because you said about the internet.
Yes, sir. What's that now? I think it's 167, if I'm not mistaken. Internet.
I have no idea.
I think it is 167, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly.
Kane, I think that's the best thing for you to go back to the state and say, this is what our circumstances are, this is where we are, and then when you come back, we'll get you to come back. Can we, I assume we're gonna have certain people come back. Let's just make a note for him. I want him to come back, okay? And we'll let you know what time frame.
Okay.
Can you, it'll probably be a couple of weeks, I would think.
That's good.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay? And that's where we are, okay?
Can I ask a question? Well,
Make it easy, make it very easy.
I'll wait till we come back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Is there anything on soil? We got that coming up. Okay, we're good. We're waiting on. Okay, thank you, Kane, so much. Appreciate it. Okay, we got Fred coming.
Is Fred on there? Yeah, Fred's on the
Doug,
call.
I think it's Payne.
No,
What?
it's Kane.
Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Payne.
I can't depend on you. I mean, you're still calling me Warmo, whatever. I don't know. You ain't got that right yet. We've only been having him for about 10 years.
I know.
Okay, Fred, we got you in.
I think so. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, we can hear you fine.
All right, sir.
Okay, you cut 1.55%. Let me just ask you this, and I'm throwing this out to everyone. Based on our circumstances, and you and I have talked, if if we get down the road and you were having to cut 30% from your budget, I'm not asking you to do it today or anything, but just based on our circumstances, I want you to be aware of, just put a game plan together of how you would do that. You cut the 1.5, am I saying that right? Is there anything else that you've looked at that you feel like you can maybe trim?
Will y'all scroll back up? I have 2.7 is what I had on my sheet. So I don't know if the benefits were that.
It's benefits. It's a benefits, Fred.
Because I was thinking with the 17,000 I cut out of the part-time, I'd have another 2,400 in benefits. So I thought I was around the 3%, but of course I don't have any control over the benefits. So I proposed about a 3% cut, Doug, before the benefits got added.
Yeah, okay. Now, here's one thing we're looking at, Fred, and you and I've had this discussion going back up to the top. The 3.46 is something we're going to be discussing about, the raise for the elected officials. We're
sure.
And that would, let's just for sake, can you take that out and see what the percentage would be? Can you do that? Fred, just for percentage sake, I'm going to look and see if we took that out, what that would be. That would be 1.98. So
I don't know whether a big benefit insurance. I'm trying to one big one on the benefits, that 26%.
So
I don't know what stop loss is. I don't know what that is, Doug.
Somebody changed from single to family.
She's saying that somebody changed from single to family.
Okay.
We'll have to look at that, Fred.
But stop loss is if they reach over $100,000, the county has to kick in and pay.
Oh,
so
okay.
if they have medical insurance, it makes stop loss.
Oh, reinsurance.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. 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 Mike, can you see anything else that we need to keep going? Fred, I just want you to be prepared in case we come back based on these circumstances and say we may have to run 4 days a week. And I know you're elected and can do whatever, but I mean these are uncharted waters, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Of course, it's all personnel, and I've discussed with Karen how to possibly address a little bit of that if we get there.
Right. I'm aware of that. So that's good. So, okay. What is?
No, I did. And then
is there anything else on maintenance repair of your office equipment that we could reduce right now? I know you've reduced it $455. Is there something?
No, that is the maintenance of the server, the lease of the software. Through the years, I have cut out little pieces of equipment, quit paying maintenance because it didn't make sense, like a barcode reader, things of this nature, and so I've cut those out through the years, because if I hadn't been actively after it, Doug, it'd be around 26,000.
Okay, so there's nothing really on travel. You got the same amount on travel. Is that something? I mean, you're having to go to some meetings, I would assume.
And I go to one big meeting in the fall every year, and then I go to the regional meeting. And I don't go to the summer meeting. I kind of consider that a play meeting. And so I go to the fall meeting, and then for the county clerks and the West Tennessee regional meeting are the two meetings I go to. I don't hear you, Doug. Did I lose you?
Oh, I'm looking, Fred. I'm just looking.
All right. Yeah, help me out.
Okay, I'm trying. Pull it down a little bit, Michelle. Okay, do. Nothing on equipment rental and maintenance. Anything on that? Anything you can maybe renegotiate or whatever on that?
You talking about 334?
Right, 334.
That is the printers, and we're leasing those, and that is a great savings. We have 12 printers, 1 copier, and that includes the cartridges. the printer cartridges, and so all I'm paying for is paper. And well, it is based on usage, and it may my bills well, I might be able to reduce it maybe 10%, maybe $360 or something of that, Doug. But that contract that Matt got for us with printers and copiers is great savings on me, because before I was running about $7,500 a year, and that was also owning the equipment and paying for cartridges and all that kind of junk. And so I probably could reduce that one 10%. If you want to go ahead and knock that down 360.
Let's knock that one down to 334. We'll mark that down. Yeah, that's great.
You knock another $100 off that.
Okay, we'll make it 3240. Okay, thank you, Fred. That's great. That's helpful. And then let's see the bottom line there. And then we take his raise out. That'd be,
I can't do that.
well, I'm just saying, when you say, can you show me again, just take it again, see what the percentage would be.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. That has not been approved.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to look. I'm trying to get my mind right.
But surely it will be approved. Surely it will be.
That requires legislative action.
Okay, Fred,
I know.
the only other thing I see would be like for deputies or something like that. And I mean, you're with that, taking that raise out would be about 2%. But the only thing I'm seeing would be the 106, or I don't see you able to do anything there except, or the 169. I mean, to reduce that some more. Is that something that you're?
Well, no, that is to keep me from having to have a full-time person, Doug. 169. If I had to do anything, it'd have to come from 106. Is the only place I could pull it from.
Okay. Well, just keep in mind, we're just going to live with this right now, but just keep in mind that we may end up having to come back and go, hey, we're going to be looking at, we need
I understand. Got to do what we got to do.
Need a game plan. Okay. Fred, that sounds good. Thank you.
Y'all have a good morning.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't believe the state though would approve a 3% increase for all constitutional officers under conditions.
Mike, come on up here if you don't mind. Since Taylor doesn't follow directions.
If they do, they need to send us the money.
Sure.
I know. Well, boys, I gotta go back and try and keep my business open.
I can't believe you just said my real name.
Because it's serious. It's serious.
Yep.
Yeah, this afternoon tonight.
It hailed at my house, reckon it hit the courthouse good.
Mine too. Mark AD was just trying to call me, so I bet that's a damage report. So far, I hadn't had any yet, not even sheriff cars.
Okay. We have Mike Winslow, and we cut 1.35% thus far. And you're a one-person department. And let's just go up to the top there, sort of see where we are. Communication, okay, let's cruise on down a little bit. Okay, travel, talk to me about that, 'cause that looks like
You can.
better off supplies.
I thought I cut more out of travel. I normally go to one convention if it's within driving distance. I don't fly anymore. And I usually do that once every other year. I'm not going to go this next year.
Okay, so we can cut that down to.
You can still cut that down some more.
How much, like 500?
Well, the only other travel expense I would have, and when I remember to turn it in, is since I don't have a county car, I've got mileage. And like I said, when I remember to turn it in, it may be $100 every couple of months or something. So maybe $500 to $600.
Okay, let's put 600 in.
I mean, that's not an item that's going to bother me.
That looks good. That's 3.32 right there. Anything on office supplies you could cut?
The only, no, I think right now, unless I have exactly. I mean, why do you give me office expense? You don't even give me an office.
You think you could cut that back to the 1175 number?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
And all I would need, if my laptop computer fries, then that's what I would need, but it's doing fine right now. I'll have to cut, if that happens, I'll come back to you.
You heard me say that. If you came back and said, hey, we're gonna,
Yeah, well, Doug,
30%.
I understand, but you know, my entire budget is a rounding error in everybody else's.
And you're gonna remind me of
I
it.
will remind you.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, this is Matt Preston. Would we want to look at putting risk management's data processing supplies in IT like we have other departments?
Okay. I don't know.
I don't have a separate line
We don't
item
have a
for data
separate line item for
processing.
that, Matt, so.
We moved the communications over there.
Roger that.
Okay, we're covered. I think that's good.
Don't change it, just move the part.
No, it's just, well, I'm just trying to make sure it's right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mike, I think that's, just be aware, it's where we are. I'm just
Well,
trying to worst
I
case
understand.
scenario, and
I understand.
that's sort of where we are. So, it looks good. Okay, we'll let you know. We're not gonna approve anything today or anything. We're just letting you know.
So you're not telling me I need to retire?
Not yet. Not yet. You don't need to retire yet. Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you. Okay, what I want to see is there any possible way that you can, I don't know, you're gonna be mad at me. Is there any possible way that we can see the decreases thus far that there's no way to do that? Okay, I know you're gonna say that. So,
The only thing I can do is pull up the budget. Which I'll have to send it to Sarah.
okay.
Before we made any changes and compare it to this one. I can kind of go along.
I'm
Well, in
confused,
this-
but I think you can handle it.
In this session, we made 5,925, but in Mark's,
I think we've only changed fund balance maybe.
10,000, 12,000.
Okay, that's 10,000, 12,000 better than we did. Okay. Okay. Karen, you got anything before we head out for lunch or anything?
Nope.
I'm scared to ask Mike. Who we got this afternoon? Okay, this afternoon we have Matt Preston, we have soil conservation, chancery and probate, then we have internal audit, and then we have local health department, which all those should be fairly straightforward. I'm gonna come back. Okay, we're not, that's fine. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I guess we don't need to adjourn, do we? Just need a break for lunch. We'll be back at 1 o'clock. Okay. Thank you.
Same link.
Same link.